Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sense of Green for air that's cool and clean. Call them Sense of Green, and we're glad that you joined us here on a Friday, the Friday before the week of Christmas. So we appreciate everybody that tunes us in each and every day on our podcast that gets going around 8 o'clock every morning, and of course the show right here. Again, you can call us, you can send us a message through social media and YouTube. We appreciate it so much. A lot to dive into. Obviously, coming right in to the show, we have a little breaking news. It looks like co-defensive coordinator and defensive back coach Charles Kelly looks to be taking the Jacksonville State head coaching job. So that's a tough break for Auburn. I guess it's a good deal for him. I'm not sure in this day and age of what head coaches are having to go through and deal with the portal and stuff, if that's congratulations or condolences. But obviously that's what he wanted to do, and so he'll embark on this journey at his age. And look, wish him nothing but the best. He was part of this great defensive staff this year that put a great defense on the field for Auburn. So Auburn contacting recruits right now to let them know. We'll have Christian Clemente on at 12:36 in place of Jason. Jason out of town this week, and so we're glad to have Christian on with us. Also part of the Auburn Undercover Network. We'll have Wade Bennett here coming up at 12:12, Randy. So we got a lot to get to today, but there's the news right there. Already lost one assistant coach this past week, and on the defensive side, and now you lose another one. So,
well, Jacksonville State, a good winner over there. Always puts a really good product out there on the field. I've always been very impressed with their program as far as a smaller school, but really cares a lot about the product that they put out on the field. And we've seen quite a few people from this area go over there and have really good success and leave out of there thinking a lot of that school. And so I wish him nothing but the best. You'd hate to see him leaving Auburn. Of course, when you're a co-DC, you're very ingrained in what the decisions are being made on the defensive side of the ball. But if you really dive into what he brings to any staff that he's on, it's what a great recruiter he is. And so getting the word out that he'll no longer be there, and hope that that doesn't really hurt what you've got going on back in the secondary, because right now it may not be the entire strength of this football team, but I would point to this being the top strength of this football team in the years to come with the way that we've recruited on the defensive side of the ball, especially back in the secondary.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, look what you return at cornerback. Look what you add at safety. You get Champ Anthony back, is going to be healthy, and just deep. A lot of depth back there, and a lot of veterans to go along with a lot of really young, really good guys that are going to be coming in. So, I mean, as far as that's concerned, I think everything will be in good shape. Maybe it won't put too much of a damper on the way some of the recruits look at Auburn now with Charles Kelly moving on. But look, that's what you do, man. I mean, I guess there's some guys that want to be head coaches, and then some that love to be a career assistant coach. And a little surprising, to be honest with you, that Charles Kelly, at this point in time, as many places he's been as an assistant, and been at Alabama, been at Florida State, now been at Auburn. You played football at Auburn, that he would want to kind of embark on this. But look, it may be a new challenge for him. Maybe something he's always wanted to do, and now he's going to have an opportunity to do that. He's always been a highly touted assistant coach no matter where he's been, and like you said, a very big-time recruiter as well. Always
well,
looked
let's
at
don't kid ourselves either. Hugh Freeze got to win football games next year. That seat's not getting any cooler. They put together a couple of really good recruiting classes, but he's also been part of a staff, or is currently part of a staff at Auburn that's got 2 losing seasons going into year 3 with a head coach. So I'm not pointing that would be the reason that he would make that decision. But, Brett, it would go into my decision-making. I know any of us that hold a job, you're trying to decide how much can I count on this thing being here next year. And if you get, to your late 50s, early 60s, and you probably want to run this thing out for another 4 or 5 years would be my guess. And the pay, what's the pay at Jacksonville State compared to what he's getting now?
I have no idea.
I mean, somebody help us out there. My guess is they'd have to pay him.
Attention to it.
They'd have to pay him double what he's getting now.
Right. And if Auburn felt that highly of him, if they wanted to try to counter, maybe they did try to counter. I don't know. To each his own when you make decisions like that. And I would think, that would probably play into the decision making. But I would like to think too that if you're going to embark on taking that jump in a career, that's something you really wanted to do too. That's got to be a big part of what you do because, again, it's different when you're the head guy in any organization. It's good. You can always point to somebody else or look at somebody else. When you're the guy at the top of the mountain, the decision rests with you. All right, as far as transfer portal is concerned, still waiting to hear maybe what Eric Singleton's going to do. He was back in Auburn yesterday. I don't know where he stands right now. He, by some recruiting services, is the number one player in the portal. We'll see if he ends up at Auburn or if he ends up maybe at Ole Miss or somewhere else that he's looking at. But Auburn does pick up a couple more guys, and their total is up to 11 now. The latest, Horatio Fields, a wide receiver from Wake Forest. Again, decent numbers this year at Wake Forest. Not superstar numbers, but a guy that's pretty big, 6'3", 205, and maybe whatever Auburn coaching staff saw in him, maybe they think he can come in and replace some of that production that we lost with some guys that exited. So adds to that receiver room, and again, the third or fourth ranked portal class, depending on what service you look at. We'll have Christian Clemente on with us at 12:36. We'll talk to him about where this portal class sits and then who the possibilities are that Auburn may pick up here as we close out. The portal closes on the 28th, really the 29th, but you got to be pretty much decided on what you're going to do on the 28th. Then you'll have you'll go through spring and then the portal open again. You and I talked about on the podcast this morning. It's too much.
It's never ending. And until somebody steps in and really makes a decision on how they'd like to see this thing moving forward for college football, because there's no part of me that thinks that any program out there is happy about the current setup. It's got to be difficult for coaches to know that they've got to come in each and every year and multiple times each year and just hold on to the current squad that they've got. I don't have an answer for it. Maybe true leadership will step up, but right now I have no confidence in it at all. The NCAA hasn't really made a tough decision since when? We talked about that this morning. Everything
they don't make decisions.
They just concede.
They stopped out.
Yeah, they concede on anything that you want, and the worst case scenario are the decisions that we've gotten. If your hope is to try to corral this thing, and they don't seem to want to corral it at all. No,
I mean who's corralling it? Nobody's got any faith in Baker at the top of the food chain for NCAA, and Kennedy and the rest of the congressional delegation that met with him this week pretty much grilled him up one side, down the other. It was an embarrassing look for him. Showed how weak the NCAA really is. He was pretty much called out on the carpet for not being a leader, for not doing the things he needed to do as far as transgender athletics and things of that sort. That's just one of many things. The NCAA has just allowed intercollegiate athletics to run wild and to be completely out of control. And I think it's pretty obvious where you and I stand on the transgender deal. I mean, it's just common sense, which we don't seem to have a lot of in this country much anymore. When you have a biological male trying to play in a female sport, I'm not going to listen to you argue with me on that. You're wasting your time trying to defend that because it does not make any sense on any planet. especially this one. So, again, but that's one of many things the NCAA refused to put their foot down about. And you've brought it up about Title IX a million times. And it's just like you crumble it up and toss it to the wind. And I feel sorry for female athletes. I do, because they fought to get to where they are, and they train and they do a lot of things. And we've seen way too many things taken away from them in the Olympics and in NCAA competitions and so forth and so on. It's really ridiculous.
And nobody will make a stand. And look, I guess there's some legal battles that can be had out there. And
how
until
can
the
that
court
stand
system,
up in court? Seriously,
I don't know how it would. I mean, when you mention that your goal as an organization is to allow the athletes, intercollegiate athletes, to compete on a level playing field, I'd have to read it exactly, but a fair and level playing field is something that's read in there. And when that's your goal, your mission statement, there's no way that a biological male and a biological female are the same people. They're not. I mean, I'm not.
Well, I just sum it up like this, Randy, and I think I speak for you too. You okay with a man walking in the girls' bathroom with your daughter? You okay with that?
Of course I'm not.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, it's that cut and dry. I mean, we don't tie stuff up in court because we just want to twist the narrative and make the people try to believe that this is some type of created, gender now that has equal rights to males and females. I mean, look, that's to me is how cut and dried this is. As a dad, that ain't happening, man. Period. And you can disagree with me if you want to. That's my stance, and that's how I'm always going to feel about it. It's ridiculous. And, we've seen way too many instances on social media and people filming that kind of stuff, and you don't know what people's intentions are. And you hate to always walk around in society and expect the worst, but you better kind of have your barometer up a little bit on what's surrounding you and what's around your kids. But I have a problem with that big time.
Well, there was some really good back and forths in front of Congress this week, and if you want to go watch them, go watch Senator Kennedy and watch his deposition on questioning. I can't ever remember the head of the NCAA.
Baker.
That's how
Charlie Baker.
Charlie Baker is so insignificant to me that I can't remember his name from one week to the next. That's how weak of a leader he is. And I would speculate that 98% of the people out there in the public have no earthly idea who the hell Charlie Baker is.
Couldn't name him.
Yeah.
We didn't name him months ago that's how irrelevant it was. So, all right, up against the first break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
there's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
We're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. New full-size GMC Sierras discounted up to $12,000 off. GMC Terrains with a roomy cabin and pro safety discounted up to $7,250 off. Enjoy the holidays with no payments until springtime. Choose from 600 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and our guy on the phone on the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline, brought to you by Sensa Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sensa Green. Wade Bennett. Wade, good to hear from you here on this Friday, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Lake Martin. If you're in need of any kind of new HVAC system, the best deals of the year are now. Up to $2,000 off any Carrier Infinity system, up to $1,500 off any other system. Hit them up at Sensa Green. Tell them Uncle T-Bone sent me, and it's like saying open sesame, boom. They're just opening up the rebates. So for air that's cool and clean, Lake Martin, hit them up at Sensa Green.
Boy, when they say T-Bone, boy, the money flows, doesn't it? It just flows right on out, man. Well, yeah, what a great deal, by the way. I mean, that is awesome. And take advantage if you need a new heating and air unit, call on Sensa Green. Wade, let's talk about some breaking news as we came on the show. Charles Kelly, co-defense coordinator, defensive backs coach, appears to be taking the head coaching job at Jacksonville State. Just kind of your thoughts on that, because Auburn now has lost a couple of defensive assistant coaches. So Charles Kelly, to me, is a blow as a recruiter and as a great coach back there in the secondary.
Well, great coach, right? Been around, salty veteran, knows the game, former Auburn guy as well, and but even better recruiter. And part of this in-state dominance under Hugh Freeze in recruiting against Alabama, and a large part of it has been Charles Kelly and the connections that he has here in the state of Alabama. Anybody's replaceable, but it's gonna be a tough hire to match what he could do, especially off the field.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge get for Hugh Freeze, him coming over from Colorado with Deion Sanders and just his roots here in the state of Alabama. There's no question, especially guys like Eric Winters and Anquan Fagans. Those particular guys were guys he focused on and was responsible for getting to Auburn. And so now Hugh Freeze is going to have to figure out who he's going to get to replace him. I feel good about the defensive side of the ball. I mean, it's been DJ Durkin's show. I'm very impressed with him and how he ran that side of the football this year. I feel like Auburn's got a chance to be better defensively. Offensively is obviously where the questions lie. And you've got a totally different quarterback room, Wade, since you and I and Randy talked last time. Just your thoughts on three new guys sitting in the quarterback room for Auburn.
Well, it's definitely an upgrade from what they had. I don't even think that's debatable as a whole. I mean, I know that Peyton Thorne put up some pretty gaudy numbers statistically, but, I mean, would you rather have Thorne and Holden, Garner, and Hank Brown, or would you rather have Jackson Arnold, the guy from Stanford, and guy leading Deuce Knight who just had one whale of a game in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game? I just don't even think that's a debatable question. In fact, you can look across the board at everything Auburn's done in the transfer portal, and it's all positive, in as opposed to losing some guys that, quite frankly, just never really panned out at Auburn.
Yeah. I think Randy and I talked about on the podcast this morning. I almost called it the portal. That's all I ever say is portal. So on the podcast this morning about the portal, and it's about to come to a close. I think Auburn, they're third or fourth in the country in portal class, which is outstanding, going out and getting 2 big tackles, getting a couple quarterbacks. I think they really went out and met some needs, went out and got a running back and Darrell Robinson from UConn. The window will close on the 28th. So far, the ones out, not anything massive. I don't think anybody's really upset losing, Michael Riley Ducker or Holden Garner or Caleb Burton or any of those guys, just to name a few. But you can't rest easy, because once you go through spring, the portal window opens again. And this thing just never ends for football programs. And I said it on the podcast this morning, Wade, I think once this portal window here in the fall ends, once the football season's over and people have a chance to kind of figure out if they want to leave or go, once you're committed in January, you need to stick with your team.
Big complaint right now with the NCAA and the entire calendar of what they've got going on. I just think they really need to get back. They need to get away from that early signing period and get back to the first Wednesday in February being official National Signing Day. And it's a huge disadvantage to these teams that are in the playoffs. And I get it. I mean, it's almost, I've had someone explain to me, it's like, well, in the NFL, the worst teams get the pick of the litter in the draft every year, Uncle T. But, I mean, this isn't the NFL yet. And I'd be raising Cain if I was trying to prepare for a national college football playoff game, have to worry about National Signing Day and the portal opening up. And I know they get some special rules with their portal, but still, I mean, it's just a never-ending cycle of transfers in and out. The system's broken. There's a lot of different theories on how it should be fixed, but ultimately it's going to take somebody at the NCAA or whatever organization is going to run college football to lay down the law, say these are the rules, and if you're not in, we'll see you in court, or you're not going to participate.
Well, we've all got confidence in Charles Baker to get it all figured out here in the next year or so. So no worries, everybody. It's all good.
Why don't, Brett, you know what they ought to do? All these people need to go back up there to Washington, D.C., because, they don't ever mess anything up, and probably put somebody like Hunter Biden in charge because he's real smart.
Yeah, that wasn't his cocaine in the White House either, no pun intended. So he thought it meant something different for White House. But anyway, Wade, we appreciate you being on every Friday with us. And I know we'll catch up a little bit next week, but I'll let you close it out here. Centre Green, a proud partner of Auburn Blitz, moving into 2025, expanding what they're doing with us, and we appreciate it.
We appreciate it, too. The results have been fantastic partnering up with you guys. And if you've been on the fence about getting with Brett and Randy and the Auburn Blitz, get off the fence business owner. It's well worth the investment, marketing and advertising-wise. We're happy to be with you. And thank you so much, Lake Martin. We'll see you in 2025. Merry Christmas, everybody. And for air that's both cool and warm and clean, depending on the day of the week this time of year, call Centre Green.
Thank you, Wade. Appreciate it, buddy. Merry Christmas to you as well. Glad to have Wade part of our group. Randy, hey, there's a playoff game tonight. Do you know that?
Yep, I'll be watching it. Yep, and getting set for that basketball game tomorrow. Man, what a weekend.
Yeah.
What a weekend
it's
of football, man. Sports
gonna be great.
weekend's going to
It's
be
gonna
a
be
lot of fun. You're heading into conference seasons getting really close in college basketball. Can't ask for much better than what you're going to get this weekend.
Yeah. You got in the week of Christmas, too, man. It's
Gosh,
just
if Auburn just happened to ever be in it.
but I don't know. I'd be flipping out.
We would not have.
What would we talk about? We'd have to scrap all this other junk. We wouldn't be talking about Charlie Baker. All right, up against the break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering,
or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, halfway through our program. Let's go back to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. James, what's up, brother?
Hey, listen, now we talk about this Congress deal. Man, them nuts up there in Congress is for show. I done seen enough of them Congress committed to meet with these people or anybody that out of that just regular workforce. They get them up there and they badger them. They ain't doing nothing. Kennedy is a nut. The rest of them up there is nuts. You got nuts Kennedy. You got nuts Tuberville. You got nuts Pelosi. You got nuts Schumer. Them nuts up there ain't doing nothing. They ain't gonna try to do nothing, because if they wanted to do something about all this, they done had time to do that. So I don't take nothing them Congress people do when they meet with these people. They all just try to badger those folks. And if I was Baker, I would have told Kennedy, why don't you run the country and stop buying down? That's what you do. You worried about the NCAA. And listen, and we talk about this all the time. Ain't nothing Baker can do. Ain't nothing Baker can do now. The genie is out the bottle. If the presidents and these chancellors don't want to change this system and make it better for football, then ain't nothing Baker can do. Look at what they did for the guy at Vanderbilt. They gave him a 6-7 year, and then they came to the court system doing all this, man.
Yep.
All you got to do is go to the court system and you win anything. I can go to the court system now, and I played football 10 years ago, and tell them I wanted to go come back to college and play and get some of this money, and they probably let me. So it ain't nothing these Baker and whatever can do no more. They gave this boy 6 years, 7 years at Vanderbilt, and then they came back. The court came back and told them, ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't even come back and vacate the win after he plays next year. So, no, man, we need to get off of this. But I agree with you guys on this she's and he-she's and all this trying to be women and men and the stuff trying to play. But let me ask you this. In all seriousness, though, you see people like Magic Johnson take their kids and love them after they want to turn into a she-he or he-she. And you see Dwayne Wade, his daughter, want to turn into a she-he, and they can go and get them these operations. Let me ask you guys this before I go down.
You making yourself laugh, James.
But it's joking. If y'all kids came to y'all and told you that if y'all they wanted to be a she-he or what would you guys do?
No.
Hang up and listen, baby.
I'm telling you what I'm doing, James. No. And I hung up on me. So, no is the answer to that question. I mean, he just compiled a lot of stuff in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Man, his last minute and a half is one of his best that he's had on this program.
You know, I'll say this. The committees in Congress are – They do. I mean, nothing really gets accomplished. I do like Kennedy because he's pretty rational. He's not like a lot of these other ones that James. I agreed with James on all those. Kennedy's just calling things like it is. You don't have many people that do that in Congress. That's the problem. He don't care what people think of him either. You know, he just says, look, how about you stand up and, you know, his ad, and there ain't ever been a better ad than when all the defund the police stuff was out there, and he just told everybody as frank as he could look in the camera. He said, well, the next time you get in trouble, don't call the police, call a crackhead. If you don't want the police coming around, if you just hate cops, then just pick up the phone and call your nearest crackhead if you need somebody to come help you. I mean, you know what I mean? So he just kind of calls it like it is, too. James, I think you and Kennedy get along well. I think y'all see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. But the Baker deal is true. You and I talked about it this morning. the guy ain't a leader. He could probably stand up and try to do some stuff, but the courts rendered the NCAA. I'm not defending the NCAA because they kind of put themselves in this situation by their lack of consistency in rulings. So when the players took all this to court about the NIL with Ed O'Bannon and all, and they ruled that in favor of the players, that pretty much rendered the NCAA powerless, toothless.
As far as making sure that you stay between the lines, there are no lines. There's not going to be any lines, and those are going to be skewed even more as the years move on. And, look, this is a professional sport. I keep saying it on the podcast. I'll say it here. Go pick out the rulings in the professional sports leagues that you like the best and put them in place in the NCAA.
Yep.
If they're working there, they'll work here because that's all this is now is a professional sport. And the longer that we sit back and act like it's not, that it's some kind of academic institution yes, if you happen to get that on the side, more power to you. But that's not what this is all about anymore, by no means.
No doubt. All right, up against another break. When we come back, Christian Clemente from Auburn Undercover will be with us. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025.
we're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here. A couple segments left in today's show. Let's go back to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline and welcome in Christian Clemente with Auburn Undercover. Christian, thanks for joining us here on this Friday, buddy.
Yeah, happy to hop on in what's a chaotic season, as you guys know very well.
Yeah, it's extremely chaotic. We talk about it on a daily basis. I know you guys do as well. Christian, y'all are in the heart of it. You cover it every single day. Let's kind of start with Charles Kelly first. Charles Kelly, I don't know any other way to say it. I think this is a blow to the Auburn coaching staff, losing him to Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is. I mean, this is a guy who's regarded as one of the best recruiters in the country. Doesn't matter what position it is. Doesn't matter, and especially in the state of Alabama. His recruiting in the state of Alabama was huge. It was huge this cycle to get Anquan Fagans, to get Eric Winters committed, and get those guys signed. And obviously they're going to enroll here in January soon. But it's a blow for Auburn. But it's good for Charles. He was an assistant at Jack State for I think 5 years in the 90s. So he gets his chance to be a head coach, and I feel like he'll do a really good job of cleaning up the in-state guys that the likes of Auburn and Alabama aren't going to get, or they're not going to go after, I should say. But it's definitely a blow for Auburn, and especially on the recruiting front. In terms of replacing him, looks like T.J. Russian, that news kind of came out last night that he was going to be elevated to an on-field role. At the time, the opening was Josh Aldridge had left, the edge coach. Now it makes a lot more sense that T.J. Russian is going to take over as the safeties coach, guy who's been with DJ Durkin at Texas A&M, coached DBs most of his career. Pretty strong recruiting pedigree himself, but look, you can't really compare it to Charles Kelly. I mean, he was labeled the national recruiter of the year, I believe, in 2023. It's hard to compete with a guy like that. Yeah, his coaching's great, but like you said, Christian, the recruiting part is the biggest blow. Now, let's kind of jump in the heads of some of these guys that are coming in January. Anquan Fagans, who just played outstanding in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, had a great season for Thompson. Eric Winters has looked great all year for Enterprise. Well, what's their thought process? I know you guys hadn't had time to reach out to them, really talk to them. I'm sure, they chose Auburn, but they build relationships with coaches as well. We all know that. Just kind of what you're thinking around some of these guys that committed to Auburn and now their position coach is gone. Yeah, it definitely makes things interesting. I mean, you can throw Jared Smith in the mix there as well, because Josh Aldridge was his primary recruiter. Look, for a lot of these guys, especially Fagans and Winters, they built up a really, really strong bond with Charles Kelly. But in a lot of those meetings was T.J. Russian. He was in a lot of those, coaches' meetings on campus and stuff like that with the recruits. And both of those guys mentioned countless times how much Hugh Freeze was involved in their recruitment. I know this morning, as things were starting to get done and Charles was getting ready to accept the job at Jack State, that Freeze and DJ Durkin, and I'm sure TJ Russian as well, were already talking to those two signees. They were talking to their families, trying to make sure that things are all good there, because, yes, they're signed, but we literally saw it yesterday where that five-star receiver, Dallas Wilson, who had signed with Oregon, asked out of his paperwork, and then he got out of it, and now he's going to Florida. So you definitely In the way college football is now, you've got to keep recruiting these guys nonstop. And for that matter, I'm sure Auburn is already talking with Caleb Harris, Sylvester Smith, the guys that are currently on roster, and making sure that they don't go in the portal because it's still open through the 28th for those guys.
Yeah, I don't have a correct answer. Randy and I have talked about this ad nauseum. Christian, I know y'all don't either, but something's going to have to be done about 2 portal windows, keeping this thing open. You feel good once the portal window closes, but then you got to go through spring, and then the portal opens up again, and guys can get in and then leave again. So it's just a nonstop, never-ending battle. And look, I understand coaches move, players feel like they should have an opportunity to move, but at some point in time, you got to lock down and be where you are. And just your thoughts on where you think this thing may end up in the near future. Are they going to stay with 2 portal windows, or you think one of them will go away?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I could go on a rant about this for probably an hour, and we don't have that kind of time. It's utterly ridiculous the way the calendar is set up and the way things are at right now, where these coaches, I mean, the portal window goes through the 28th. These coaches have to keep recruiting their own roster through Christmas, and even at that, teams that are in the playoff, FCS teams included, those players have 5 days after their season ends to go in the portal. So if a team plays they're in early to mid-January or whatever it is in the playoff, those players have 5 more days to go and get in the portal. It's kind of ridiculous the way it's set up right now. Realistically, the window, if they're going to change anything, this first window probably does not need to be open for as long as it is. Look, the players that know they're going to leave and are looking for a better situation for more playing time or more money or whatever it is, they probably know before the portal window opens if they're gonna hop in. Right now, it's just open, and the guys that are hopping in, for the most part, some coaching search changes, but those guys, if a head coach leaves, they have 30 days to enter the portal. But a lot of it is just leveraging. I mean, we saw it with Jalen Mbakwe at Alabama. We saw it with Amaris Williams at Auburn. We've seen these guys are leveraging schools to try and get more money, try and get a better opportunity, and seeing what else is out there, window shopping in the portal almost, and seeing what else they can get. I don't know what the NCAA is going to do, but it feels like they need to cut down on the amount of time that these windows are open, and they're probably stuck. They're probably going to have to keep one after the spring, but it needs to be limited as it is right now.
Who's going to make that decision, Christian? I think you are in the same camp we are. You couldn't have said it any better than we've said it this week. Who's going to make this call? I mean, the colleges have the leverage, believe it or not. It seems like they don't understand that they do have leverage here because they have the facilities, they have the university that allows these kids to come in and play. Can they not form some type of committee in the Power Four that says, look, this is how we're going to do this moving forward?
Brett, that's all too logical. That makes way too much sense for them to actually do that. Trust me, I'm with you all the way. I'm ready for this portal window to close, and a lot of these coaches are too. And I don't think everyone at the NCAA has a full grasp on how they can actually handle this situation and make things better for the coaches and for everybody, really.
It's a shame. Well, a couple more things real quick. Tomorrow, big basketball game. Christian, Auburn goes to Birmingham to take on Purdue. They were the national runner-up last year. Now, they're a different team. Obviously, no Zach Edey, but they're a perimeter team. And Auburn without Janai Broome, possibly tomorrow, more than likely tomorrow, not going to play because of that shoulder injury earlier this week. Just your thoughts on the game tomorrow. I think Auburn's still got a lot to prove that they can go out and play against a top opponent, maybe without their best player, and get a win.
Yeah, I think it's another great opportunity for a guy who absolutely stepped up this past week in Chaney Johnson. Probably step into the starting role if Janai Broome doesn't play, which still a little unsure on what he's going to do. Look, I'm not a coach, but in my opinion, if I was Auburn, you've proved what you've needed to prove in the non-conference play to this point. If you lose to Purdue without Janai Broome, the game doesn't count. There will be an asterisk on it the whole way. When they're talking about seeding and stuff like that for March Madness, they'll say, if Auburn loses, they say, they lost to Purdue, but they didn't have Janai Broome, and maybe even better if you win without him. So we'll see whether or not he plays, but big opportunity for Chaney. Dylan is going to have to step up, assuming Janai does not go. both of those guys struggle with foul trouble from time to time. They can definitely get caught reaching there a little bit. So that'll be the key for them if Janai does not play. Can Dylan stay out of foul trouble? Can he step into a different role? He's been starting at the 5, but it's a totally different offense when Janai Broome is not out there. So it'll be interesting to see how Bruce and the staff kind of game plan and what they come up with for tomorrow's game.
Christian, great stuff, brother. We really appreciate you being on with us today. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thanks for all that you guys do, and covering Auburn. You guys do it as good as anybody out there, and we look forward to having you back again soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a happy Merry Christmas as well, and hopefully see you guys soon.
Sounds good, Christian. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yep.
Christian Clemente there with Auburn Undercover. Randy, great talking to him today. A lot of input. We'll go to break. When we come back, we'll kind of close this out going, he feels just like we do. I think everybody feels just the same way we all do.
I feel like if we go on air for an hour, we talk about this for 40 minutes because it's that important.
That's where we are with it. It really drives
It's everybody's conversation, especially if you're in the boat that Auburn's in where we don't have a game to talk about. We don't have a winning season to talk about. We don't have a bowl game that we're all looking forward to. Right. We've got four losing seasons in a row. Everything does point to this.
Right.
And it needs to be fixed. And luckily we've got basketball, I'll put it that way.
No doubt. All right, up against the final break of the show. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Senza Green and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit alagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on the program. Again, want to thank our sponsors out there. It's coming up on Christmas, and, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine is the place to be for Christmas. For all of you out there that want to kind of take a break from the kitchen, you want to let somebody else to do it for you, call on Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. I've already got my order in. We're excited, and they do all kinds of different things. They've got Christmas specials going on with beef tenderloin, fillets, or prime rib roast, and then, of course, mashed potatoes, green beans, twice baked potatoes, all those different things while supplies last. And so if you're interested in one of those three Christmas dinner specials, give them a call. Go to Montgomery at Pepper Tree or go to East Glen in Auburn and get that placed, and then they'll get you set up for when you can come and pick all that up this coming week. So we thank Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, a really good partner with us here on the program, and excited about moving into 2025 with all of our partners and stuff here on the program. I want to thank Christian Clemente again, Randy, here on a shorter segment because we went over a little bit with him on him coming on and talking about this portal that's giving us all a headache. And you can tell, you can hear the frustration in his voice. Somebody's having to cover this every single day.
Well, he deals with it direct, and he's talking to coaches, and I'm sure the coaches are feeding him with conversations that you and I don't necessarily get when you're not direct to them, but I know it's got to be super frustrating. Let's spin over real quick. Got a couple more minutes. Let's talk about this basketball matchup, Brett. This is an 8-3 Purdue team.
Right.
This is not a Zach Edey-led Purdue team. You said it this morning, and I don't know that most out there may know, but this is a Purdue team that's really led by guard play. This is not a post-play team that we've seen over the last, 15 to 20 years where it really does feel like Purdue has had some of the best centers. Now, they haven't necessarily all moved on and been national players of the year, but they've been able to go out and get big 7-foot-plus tall, and they've run their offense through that center over the last, decade plus. Not this year, really good guard-oriented team, but you look down at the losses that this team currently has. They lost to Marquette by 18 points, lost to Penn State by 9, and also lost to Texas A&M by 4. They did beat Alabama.
They did.
Earlier in the year, they beat them by 9.
They beat Yale 92-84. So.
Now, at that time when they beat Alabama, they were still undefeated on the season, then lost the next one to Marquette. Looking down their stat totals, Auburn will hold a commanding lead in the post. Auburn averaging 39 rebounds per game to only 33 rebounds per game for Purdue. And the block shots, look at the difference there. Auburn almost tripling up. Purdue in block shots, 6.5 a game for Auburn, only 2.3 for Purdue. So a big loss for Janai not being in the game because you liked your chances to be able to maybe expose them down.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would have been our advantage this year with him, Edey being gone and Janai Broome being really much the runaway player of the year right now. But you got to think that he's not going to play. Trey Kaufman-Wren is their guy. He averages 18.2 points a game. Janai Broome averages 18.1. They'll have Wren. We won't have Broome. So their point guy outside is we're going to have to get out on him. I mean, this guy, it's nothing for him to score 25 points in a game. They've had some close ones too that they won, like Ole Miss. They beat them 80-78, but they've lost some close ones as well. It's going to be a big matchup. And then if Janai Broome doesn't play, it's going to – like Christian said, if you win the game without Janai Broome, man, that sends way more of a message than if you lose without him.
Agreed. Cheney Johnson will be the X factor, and he was the other night. Not that we necessarily had him to play as well as he did, but glad he did.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, everybody's going to wrap it up for this week. Auburn Blitz. We'll have Saturday Sports Countdown tomorrow. Going to be sporadic next week with Christmas, and we hope all of you have a wonderful and Merry Christmas out there. Be safe out there. For Randy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.